Welcome back to Surfers Unscripted, episode 117. Brett is back. Brett, we love to see you back. Hope you're feeling better. You look a lot better. It's good to have you back. One of us sounds a bit different because one of us went out drinking, and then we have two sober boys out here. But Brett, overall, how are you feeling, man? How does it feel to be back?
Yeah, Flip, I missed it. I was man down, flipping worst week of my life by far. But happy to be back. Sorry I missed it. Sorry the comment section hasn't got anybody to moan about, so I'm back.
Brevan, how you doing, my man?
How's it, brother? How's it? All good. All good. Excited to finally get into a week of building up to obviously the biggest game in Springbok history. Not like this specific one, but against the All Blacks. Always love it. So excited. That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, and building up to this excitement, obviously we know the Springboks announced their teams on a Tuesday morning, and we thought we'll do a little prediction video in terms of who's going to play. And I know usually we each give our teams, but we'll just have a discussion about it. First and foremost, before we get into the teams and stuff, please do remember to like and subscribe. We do appreciate your guys' love, your support, literally from day one. But let's get into it, boys. Brett, you're thinking we kind of go with what we maybe saw in that first test against the Wallabies or Ireland, or do you think we might see a couple of surprise entries?
I definitely think there's going to be some surprise entries. That first test was, I think. Can I say who I think is going to be in or out?
Yeah, go for it.
I think a guy like Steenekamp gets his chance to start and Ox moves to the bench. I think Ben Jason Dixon is at flank while Peter Steff is still on lock with Earbin. I think Sasha retains his 10 jersey. I think Kobus Reinach is back in 9. That's pretty much all I think is going to be different.
Yeah, but Brevan, are you on the same wavelength?
Yeah, I've always rated Ox as a bench player, so I think because Steenekamp's been putting his hand up off the bench, and we know he starts well for the Bulls, I think giving him an opportunity to start is important because you kind of want to identify a good combination coming off the bench and staying on the field. I think they would be silly to not let Ben Jason Dixon play at 7. I think he's proven that he's more than capable to play there. And Peter Steff at 5, it makes a lot of sense because, I've just noticed in Peter Steff's presence, you need him on the field, right? But at the same time, you want him to make room for Ben Jason Dixon. And I just think in the past few games, Peter Steff has upped his leadership skills in a massive way. And then I'd love to make Sasha get the start because I think we need to start building something there. And as long as the 9 is not okay, well, as long Grant Williams or Kobus Reinach, I'm happy. I'd prefer Kobus because I think with better ruck ball than he got in that first Australian game, he can definitely show so much more. So I'd happy to see those two start together.
Yeah, fair enough. So obviously we saw the news of a couple of guys that came in to join the squad. We're not expecting to see them run out onto the field anytime soon, do we? Maybe against Argentina at the end of the Rugby Championship. Because I voiced it kind of, and the people in the comment section went after me for it a bit. I think it was on YouTube. It might have been on another social media platform. But I said, like, even though Steven Kitsoff is a great guy, like he's a great prop, there's no merit on which you put him into this team. He struggled during the World Cup, maybe even a bit before the World Cup, got injured for a long time, and now he's back into the mix. And I don't understand why he's into the mix and we took out Johan Grobler. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
No, so Kitsoff came back because remember he struggled in the World Cup because he carried the injury in the World Cup, and then, so then he got it fixed now. So they're predicting that he's back at his previous best that he was before injury. So now he's there to scrum with what's the scrum coach's name? Himan.
Yeah.
Don Himan. To get back to that level of physicality and that level of demand that they want from the players. So I think that he'll probably miss these 2 tests against the All Blacks, but obviously going to scrum against them, scrum with them, blah, blah, blah. I just think that he needs to be in the setup to get back to where we as a country need him.
Yeah, the big thing is just like the competition for the positions at the moment in our props area is absolutely crazy. I mean, he's going up against the likes of Gerard Steenekamp, Oxenche, and Jan-Hendrik Wessels, who's all really impressed. That's why I was like, we've got all the depth there. Why would you want another? What is that Lucid props?
Yeah, it's Lucid. So it's Lucid. So I thought, sorry, Brevin, I'm falling in here the whole time. I haven't spoken in a while, so just let me let it out. I feel like if anybody was going to get dropped, I thought that it would be Jan-Hendrik Wessels over Grobler, because Grobler performed. I thought that he was pretty much cemented himself into that team. At some parts, he was better than Marks for me. So I was very shocked with that, with him getting like put aside. I won't say dropped, because one injury can happen in this All Black test, and before you know it, the second test, Grobler is starting with kits off. So you can never write them off. So I'm actually, like we always say, have faith in Rassie.
I agree. I think Kitsoff needs to kind of get fit back into the system again, get his time back in the Springboks setup. Obviously, he'll know what's expected of him. So, I mean, if you watch the game against, I think it was Western Province versus Lions, I think it was a decent return considering he hasn't played in so long. So it will gradually build back up. And realistically, if we get a Kitsoff back to his prime, he's going to start that. He's going to start on the box shirt for sure if he gets back to what he was.
Yeah. No, obviously, I love Kitsy. I think he's one of our best to ever do it. But I was just like on merit and on how good the competition is there at the moment. I heard something that, Brevin, you would know a bit better. Can Jan-Hendrik Wessels play the hooker position as well?
He's actually a listed hooker for the Bulls. He's not a listed as a prop.
Oh, okay, So that kind of makes a bit more sense.
Rassie made the transition,
but could be an interesting thing to see. So anyway, I made a little predicted lineup list. Just want to hear your thoughts on it. With the front 3, I've actually got Oxenche to keep on starting. I just think he's been that good. He's been impressive. Nothing against Jan-Hendrik Wessels, but I think the dynamic between those two, with the impact from the bench from Steenekamp with Ox starting, whether it doesn't really matter. I think both of them are brilliant. So I've got Ox, Bongi, and Frans Malherbe to start. Do we agree overall on that, except for you guys have Steenekamp to start?
I don't. Sorry, Brevin, I'm going to go first the whole time. If there's any silence, I'm taking that gap like a racing snake. If I think that it's going to be Steenekamp, Marks, and Malherbe, with Bongi and Ox coming off the bench, because to create that bit of that bomb squad, what they had. And I just feel like Bongi and Ox scrum better together than Marks and Ox scrum together.
Could be.
Yeah, I think it's because Marks is a bit taller than Bongi and Ox is a bit shorter. So that's just how I see it. I think my front row that I think that's going to be put out will be Steenekamp, Marks, and Malherbe.
Yeah, well, Brevin, I'll come to you with it. Like, obviously, Rassie likes to change things up a bit. He doesn't like the fact that you will be able to kind of predict the lineup. So even if you just switches a couple of guys from the starters to the bench, just to throw the All Blacks maybe a bit off their game as to what they're actually prepared for, I wouldn't be surprised to see Malcolm Marx start in this game. Like, we expect Wongi, but for him just to change it up, I don't think it would be the worst idea in the world. Yeah, Brevin, tell us what you think.
I think what we were starting to see come just before the World Cup, it was in that game against New Zealand at Twickenham where we sorry, All Black fans, where we absolutely battered them. Marks was starting there, and then in that first game against Scotland, Mark started in the World Cup, and then obviously, unfortunately, the injury occurred, and then obviously he's been out for so long, and you can't just, even though we did, but it was against Wales, we kind of just eased him back into the 16 jersey. I hope that he has more of a starting role towards the end of his Springbok career, because I think the guy has so much more to offer coming or starting. I think Bongi can play the bench role perfectly. So if I could have it my way, I'd want Malcolm Marx to start.
every
So
day of the
have
week.
faith in that, to be honest, yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously Malhaba, of course.
Are
Obvious.
we in agreement that Eben and Peter Steff takes the lock positions?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Anyway, then moving on to the Lucy's, I've got Sia, Ben Jason Dixon, and I've actually gone with Jasper Wiese. I think we see the return of Jasper Wiese. I'm not too sure, maybe from the bench, but I don't think we go this whole rugby championship without seeing Jasper in an 8 jersey as well. Brett?
I think, sorry, Brevin, I'm
Go,
going
go.
again. I think that, sorry, I think that Jasper, everybody that came into the squad now, that joined now, will not even feature in the 23 in this game. They have not been, they're not match fit. They're not up for, they haven't played in the rugby championship. You can't, I don't care how good you are, what your name is or whatever. You are not starting or playing in the match day 23 against a very fired up All Black side with a chance to create history, to blow them out the water and win both games in South Africa against our old foe. I don't think, not Moody's going to be in the team, not Wiese's going to be in the team, Kitshoff's not going to be in the team. It's not happening. That's my
Jaden Hendrickse?
Not Jaden. Not Jaden Hendrickse.
Yeah, I generally have Ulrich to still start, I'll be honest. I think he hasn't necessarily done anything to get himself dropped, you know. So I mean, as if, yeah, he's whatever. Let's just move on. You know, I think he has a point to prove. Of course, I think he'll suit the game plan. A physical 8, of course. So, but listen, and I love Jasper Wiese, right? And I want him to get fit, and I want him to be that physical Jasper Wiese we know. If he can cut a lot of discipline issues out of his game, I genuinely would stick with him as our 8 going forward, because I think he brings that physicality, and I think he can play that Dwayne role the closest. If I could be misfiring here, but he's just, in my opinion, phenomenal. So I think he just needs to fix the discipline, and I would generally keep Jasper at 8.
Yeah, well, the thing that Ulrich Low obviously offers you is a workhorse, and to think you have Ulrich Low, Ben Jason Dixon, and Peter Steff du Toit just on the field hunting down those All Black boys, making about 15 to 20 tackles each. That is crazy good. And we know if you block this, if you get your rush defense right against this All Blacks team, obviously they've lost their attacking coach now. You can cause some serious damage. So yeah, big game for Ulrich Low. Let's move on to the backs. Kobus, Sasha, Shirley.
Yes,
Yep.
I think this game will be Kobus Reinach's last chance to really prove himself, because he's been in and out. He was sulking in the final that he didn't make the match day 23. There I felt sorry for him. But against Australia, that first test, I absolutely love the Oak, but I struggled to defend him after that performance. He was good. He did his job, but he was also pretty shit.
Should have done a lot more. Should have taken the chance better.
100%.
Brett, what's your thoughts on Jaden Hendrickse coming in and Morne van der Berg going out? Like, I didn't.
That blew my mind.
Terrible.
Absolutely blew my mind. Jaden Hendricks for me is the Elton Yankees of halfbacks. Of scrum-halves. I don't get it. I'll never understand it. He adds zero to the game. honestly, somebody with better ball knowledge than me needs to explain to me why he's there, why he's even selected. I mean, Nohamba is better than him, and Nohamba's not even been looked at. It blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind.
Yeah, and Morten van den Berg is better than Noamba. But why do you take Morten van den Berg out? He's played one game in treacherous rain, or what do you call it? Torrential rain, whatever. Like it was crazy.
You're
The
not wrong.
condition.
Not wrong.
Hey?
You're not wrong. Treacherous and tremendous, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
River, what's your thoughts on it? When you saw that?
I would have stuck with Morne van den Berg, I'll be honest. I think, look, if I'm gonna compare it to the Kitsov situation. Many will say, because I'm gonna say, what has he done on merit to get back into the squad, right? But now then people will say, but Kitsov has proven himself as a South African legend already.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to prove anything more. He's got his Stephen Kit. Like if, for instance, we know a Malcolm Marx or Eben Etzebeth, Peter Steff, Siya Kolisi, those guys, they have cemented their spot in the Springboks. Whether they're out for 6 months, they'll return in the squad straight away. A player like Jaden Hendrickse has not done that, in my opinion. And I think Morne van den Berg has played a lot better, and I think he deserves a lot more. And that's
especially
that's
than just the
opinion.
one game. That is ridiculous. Anyway, Brett, you mentioned Sasha in that 10 jersey. I've also got him there, but I want to bring up a point. If we all of a sudden put Sasha on the bench this game and start Andre, I think that's almost like a step back. Like you've built up Sasha, given him the experience to start the other games. Start him now. Tell him, listen, this is your chance. This is the big match that we've been building up for. And we're giving you the reins in that starting 10 jersey to play the All Blacks and go back to Andre Pollard instead of pushing forward, getting Sasha used to this thing. I would, in my opinion, that's a step back. Like
yes, you've pretty much answered your own statement there, because if Sasha and Andre Pollard had played half, then you would think, oh, is it going to be Pollard? Is it going to be Sasha? But they've literally brewed the oak from the first game of the Rugby Championship to make him start against the All Blacks. That's why I also went with Sasha starting. I'm like, there's no chance he's going to win 2 games for South Africa, and then away from home, and then drop him for the home leg against South Africa.
Pollard, especially when Pollard comes on and he plays inside centre. Pollard hasn't even come on and played 10.
Yeah. Pollard played 10 the second test for 2 minutes, and then Lebok came on, and then Pollard moved to 12.
Yeah. River?
I mean, you have to go with Sasha. Like you said, it literally is a massive step backwards if you now give him this 3 starts or however many starts in a row, whatever it is. Made him, I mean, he played an important part in the Irish series, especially in that last game. You got to start the oak, if you want to build a new way forward. And I'm sure Tony Brown will be saying the same thing. Like he'll want Sasha to start because he's probably going to be building his backline around Sasha now, So it's important for him to start. I mean, like you said, the way Tony Brown wants to play, Sasha's the player to do it, not Andre. So yeah, Sasha's got to start. It's a huge call, and it has to be made. So, yeah, Sasha.
Yeah, fair enough. Centers, pretty straightforward. Dial and the Krill.
Yeah.
There's no change there. Those two are breaking records. They're going to have 50 tests together.
Yeah, we don't need to add anything to that. Same with the back 3. Colby, Arendse, Willie Leroux, right?
Yep.
Okay, so the big thing is like, do we revert back to the 6-2 split on the bench? Do we get a surprise 7-1? Do we go 5-3 again? See if it could like, to be fair, I don't think playing against the All Blacks with the way that they play, like the Andre and Mani combo coming from the bench, would be the worst thing in the world. I wouldn't go for it. I'm just saying, I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world. But I'm going 6-2.
I'm also I think I'm going 6-2, but I think Breven's reaction there was a bit exaggerated, because I'm putting Lebok on the bench over Pollard.
Okay, but you're not taking Sasha off when you bring
No,
on.
if I'm taking Sasha off, I'm putting Sasha at 15. I'll take Willie off, and I'll put
Yeah.
Lebok at 10, so
I
Sasha
agree.
can still be the kicker for the game.
Yeah,
I feel like in a game like this, the high-paced game, I think Pollard is on defense. He's too slow. He doesn't put in the big hits. Mani Lebok, when he misses tackle, he still slows the person down. I don't know how to explain it.
no, he doesn't fully miss the tackle. Like,
Yes, and Pollard does, and I feel like against the All Blacks specifically, Mani offers more than Pollard. Pollard,
attack,
for me,
yeah, a lot more.
at this point of my life, the only thing Pollard offers me is goal kicking.
Yeah, and that's not good enough. We want to move forward. I don't want us to go and play against this All Blacks team and kind of have a different game plan where it's like we're just gonna kick at goal and graft out penalties to win the game. We have to force them to play our game. You can keep it physical and whatever, but if the line out is there, go for the line out, driving maul, use the back line. Don't all of a sudden play that World Cup final game where it's like, okay, we get the ball, we're 50 meters out, we're just gonna bomb it into the air onto Will Jordan or whoever to put them under pressure. Play that same way. Back the new style that we had. Andre doesn't fit that mold. Bring on Mani Lebok at 10 from the bench. Put Sasha at fullback. I think it's pretty straightforward. That's what I would do. That's what I have as my predicted lineup as well.
Trevor doesn't agree.
No, I would probably still stick with Pollard. The reason being, and this is probably, and if I think quickly about it, the first reason that comes to my head is I don't want Sasha moved from 10 at all. That's my reasoning. Because I get it. Don't get me wrong, Mani Lebok can open play. I mean, give the guy credit. Amazing player. I just rather have. I just enjoy the security of Pollard, if that makes sense. I know you guys want to move away from that, but I still want to win the game, if that makes sense. So if it comes down to a clutch kick that's desperately needed, I mean, Sasha could probably do it. I trust the Oak, but I don't know. I'm just more comfortable in Pollard. That's my reason. Everyone has different.
If you look at it, right, if Pollard had to come on and Sasha stays onto the field, I wouldn't even give the kicking reins to Pollard, because then Sasha would probably already have the confidence to slot it at goal. Like, would you rather have an ice cold Pollard coming on? Yeah, we know he is deadly accurate, but if Sasha's already got the confidence, he'll probably slot it as well, and he slots it from way further. And Pollard came on in the previous game and missed a kick as well. So I mean, he is the Iceman. He was great in the World Cup, but he's missed a couple of kicks after the World Cup. So
So the difference is, though, when Pollard kicked there, as a kicker, I myself tell myself, like, there's 1000% focus when the kicker, like, okay, let me give you an example. We played against UJ when I still played for Wanderers. We needed this kick to win the game. I completely shut down from the world around me. I didn't even know that the people 5 meters away from me booed me. I didn't even know that. People told me, like, oh, ice in his veins. I promise you, I didn't hear a thing. And then a week later, we played against Roodepoort. Much easier game and an easier kick. Like, I heard everything around because there was no pressure, none of that. And I just, like, pushed it to the side. And that's the feeling that Pollard got. I thought that Pollard got in that game. Like, this kick's not going to make or break my career. It's not going to win or lose this game. This is it's a formality. Let's just go 1, 2, 3 step kick. And you kind of shut down and you make a little technical error with your foot because you're not that 100% focused. And that's the reason why I think he misses some of the kicks that he does.
Brett, I just want to tell you, you definitely lied. You missed both kicks. Okay, don't act like you've got some big match temperament kicking.
That's one thing Brett doesn't do, and that's bad kicks. I'll give him that.
Thank you, sir.
But what I wanted to raise to you guys, right? I know I'm just trying to drag this video out, but yeah, let's do it.
But we
Okay,
still have to
so
talk about the whole bench, Brevan, so it's
okay,
okay.
sorry, but I just want to ask this question, right?
Yeah, go for it.
So Willemse comes back. Obviously, that's Willie out, correct? Right? Are we in
Willie onto
agreement?
the bench.
Okay, no, but this
First,
is what
get
I
to
want to
your
raise
point.
to you.
Let's get to your point, then I'll say right or wrong, or
Okay.
agree or not.
Would you guys? Okay, not would you guys. Between Moody, Willie, Libok, Andre, who takes player 23 or
Willie.
jersey 23?
Willie. Either Willie or Willemse. Whichever one.
No,
You-
Willemse starts. Like
Willemse
that's
starts.
non-negotiable.
He has to start, but I'm saying like either one of those two.
Nobody's starting above Willie until Willie gets to 100 tests.
That's true. I agree with that.
Yeah.
After that, I think Willemse starts. Willie's on the bench, and he gets fizzled out that way. Still goes down in the Hall of Fame. Still gets to 100 tests, but I think still makes it as a 100 test Springbok. And just another thing on that topic there, the whole world still doesn't see how Willie Leroux is a good player. The Oak's about to play 100 tests for the best team in the world, and you want to tell me he's not good enough? Everyone else can suck it.
Yeah. Thing is, Willie and Willemse, when both fit, always involved in the game. They will always be either on the bench. You will never get a game where you don't see a Willie just because he's been dropped or whatever when we're playing the big matches. Like, it is just... You try to sneak in Kane and Moody, by the way. I just realized. What do you want to do with Kane and Moody on the bench, Brevan? Is
At
this your
23.
bias that just came through?
No, it's not. It's a genuine question. He plays wing, he can play centre, he can play fullback. That's why I raised the question, because he can play in those positions. Didn't say he must be there, but I gave you 4 options to choose from, and you chose one. Did I disagree with you? No, it was just an option. Relax.
With Kurtley Arendse, with Kurtley Arendse going to Japan, I think he's gonna. I know it's a bit of a sabbatical, but I think this is Caden Moody's way back into that 11 jersey.
Yeah, it could be. It's probably between Caden Moody and Edwil van der Merwe. And at the moment, he looks good. It will look very good when he plays us.
Caden Moody's he's the guy for the future. He's gonna play 100 test match for the Boks. That Oak, I've never seen a guy from so young be that mature. Like Frans Steyn was the last mature guy I can remember like a Moody. So I think Moody's...
Well, Sasha's more mature, isn't he?
Sasha was made in a lab. That guy's... Did you see his speech when he, at 13, to like the Bishop's tea? That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to who we'll see. Let's move on to who we'll see on the bench, right? So you guys, obviously we had a couple of different forwards, but we still know whoever you didn't pick, those are the guys that are on the bench. So whether you went with Marks to start, right? So you have Bongi and Orks on the bench with Vincent Koch, who always on the bench. Yeah. Okay. So we agree with that. You guys agree with 6-2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Ergie Snyman?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you said no Jasper Wiese. Mark van Staden.
Yes.
Kwagga Smith.
Yes.
Okay, so
that's 6, eh? Yeah, that is 6. Okay, look.
Only thing
okay,
I might...
Cool. I'll just say that. Yeah, cool. Sure.
Only thing I might change is I think that Marco van Staden is not on the bench. Kwagga will be, or other way around. Either one of those two on the bench, and Van Rensburg on the bench.
Sure. Imagine.
While
2 lock replacements.
Sorry?
So
you
going with 2 lock replacements on the bench?
Yes, because if it's not going to be him, it's going to be, Murat's out, eh?
Yeah.
That concussion, yeah.
Concussion, yeah.
Maybe rather Norkia on the bench then.
No, but I'd rather want 2 fetches coming off the bench in the last 20, 30 minutes of the game. in my
But
opinion.
I'm just saying if we're not going Marco van Staden,
Because
and
if
we
you're not
wanna-
having Marks come off the bench, then you're not going to close with Fetcher if he comes off, unless I don't know.
I think that Van Rensburg is on that bench. I honestly do. I think he's got a Mostert work rate, but he's a big boy.
but that's why I brought it up. Like, why would he start over Ruan Orkia, who had a great game?
Maybe they want a bigger lock.
Yes, they do want a bigger lock because Norkia was great on defense, but when he carried, he never crossed the gain line once. And he only carried twice. He only carried twice in his defense. But the 2 times that he did, he's not there for that. He's obviously there to disrupt in lineouts, disrupt on defense, because it was against a quicker Australia, smaller pack from Australia. So that worked. I feel like that if Van Rensburg that's a bit bigger, but also has a high work rate, will add a bit more value. But Norkia's defense is better. So,
but here's the thing, right? Would they is Van Rensburg classified as a 5 lock? Or is it a 4 lock? Can you do both?
he plays both. He plays both.
Because Achia would go on in the 5 lock position, and then that would be
also considered both.
He could be, yeah. So that's the thing. You'll have to, because you want both. You don't want the 2 locks to play the same role when they come on the field. You want one to be more of the aggressive and the one to be more technical. Or more, you could say, work rates, etc. So as long as they can both play different roles, then I don't see why it wouldn't work.
And he's a bit taller than Norkia, so for lineouts possibilities.
Yeah. Okay, well, then let's talk about the 2 backline boys on the bench. I went with Grant Williams and Marnie, kind of just as that's what I want to see. But Brevin, you obviously went Grant and Andre, right? Yeah.
Which it probably wouldn't make sense to bring him off the bench.
I just want to see Grant start. Give him that start finally again. Give him that opportunity.
I don't know. When he starts his average, when he comes off the bench, he changes the game. It's his own wrongdoing. I mean, right doing, if you will. Because look against Australia.
It's like the same as Quagga.
Yeah, pretty much. Look against Australia. Reinhardt had a bit of a pretty average game, and Williams had a great game off the bench.
Yeah, but Williams hasn't really gotten that opportunity to start in the box jersey. He had it once, got knocked out, never got it again.
But also, I'd like to see in the Sharks setup, I'd like to see Williams starting over Hendrickson. That would be
everyone
great.
Wants to do that.
Because then that can give us a proper idea of what we're dealing with Williams when it comes to starting, etc.
Yeah, I think he might start a lot less now. I'm thinking we're going to see the Hendricks brothers there every single game, every single weekend. Like that's probably what the Sharks are going for, that type of chemistry between their 9 and 10. And even though Grant Williams is way better.
The way Lionel Cormier played yesterday, that oak is like fine wine. That oak can't age. He hurt Western Province yesterday.
Yeah. He always just comes like out of nowhere. He just pitches up again and somehow pulls up absolute masterpiece performances. Just out of nowhere. Anyway, let's wrap it up. Thank you everyone for watching. That was our just discussion on what we possibly could see in the team come Tuesday. We do love and appreciate you guys, as we always say. Please do remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you guys on Wednesday. Thank you.
Okay, bye.